All praises belong to the Most High. Kwabashiala! All right. Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying. Just a disclaimer. This video here is for education purposes. I am not profiting anything from this lesson. All right. But I think it's very important and right along with what we're facing in these troubling times. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. Kwabrashiala!
My spirit for a couple of days, and it was all spiritual. Why it's coming out now because my woman, she made pretty good money, and she got good credit and whatnot. And she was thinking about getting a house. It's been on her spirit because she grew up in houses. Me myself, I grew up in apartments, so I live in an apartment now. It really ain't no thing. But she raised the issue, and she's been raising it before, but it really came to a head earlier this sunrise. And I broke it down, and I said, well, you know what, we're gonna be like pilgrims. And it was a spirit because I spoke on it. I believe it was this morning or yesterday, or it could have been both times, about how we can't really get comfortable here. Anything that you purchase here, you have to be willing to lose it at the drop of a hat. And so when you obtain material things, or even you getting attached to the people that are in this world, that makes it harder for you to detach. Scriptures say that no man that warreth entangleth himself. Let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. And so this world is very unstable. So what we have to do is we have to maintain stability in the midst of an unstable world. 2 Timothy 2:3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier. AHCHYAM, right? So we have to be good soldiers. Here's the point. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, right? So even though we're going to be put in a situation where we're pilgrims, like it says in 2 Chronicles 16 chapter, we still have to be stable-minded. Even though we use the world, we can't abuse it. We can't get caught up in this. Because this world, as we see, is passing away. So this is the wrong time to really get caught up in having children and putting all your energy into houses and movement and all them different things. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. That's right, because it's all about pleasing Heavenly Father and His Son who have chosen us to be a soldier. So let me go to the book of Luke 17:26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. That's right, because nobody took it seriously until it actually happened. Just like the people up there in Oregon and Washington, you got whole towns that's getting burnt up. Them people didn't think that was going to happen. Likewise, also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built it. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. That's right, you cannot be invested in anything here. And that's what I was explaining to her. I said, hey, there's really no point, because 144, you're going to get all wrapped up in it. And she understood. But see, women, they're all about being comfortable. See, a man, he can, like Jay said in the world, a man can thug it out. A man can go through different situations and live meagerly. But it's in a woman's spirit, she wants to be comfortable. What she's going to go into is, in the 32nd verse, in that day, he which shall be upon the household and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return. Remember Lot's wife. That's right. And because what happened to Lot's wife, she turned back and she became a pillar of salt. Why? Because Sodom was stable for her. That was stability. Same thing with our people who are murmuring in the wilderness. They wanted to go back into Egypt. Why? Because that was stability. Matter of fact, let me bring that out in the book of Numbers. Was that the 12th chapter? No, it's not the 12th chapter. It's in the 11th chapter. Yep. Numbers chapter 11, verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased Yahweh, and Yahweh heard it. And his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yahweh burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses. And when Moses prayed unto Yahweh, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of Yahweh burnt among them. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely. Did you see that? So Jake missed them comforts. The cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. You see, so they were complaining because of the lack of stability. You know, the Heavenly Father, he got pissed off again. Why? Because our people are always tempting the Heavenly Father. Continue. So we have to maintain stability and not resort back to the comforts of Babylon in this time. You can't lean upon the comforts of Babylon, because guess what? You're going to go to lean there and it's not going to be there. And then you're going to get what? Disenchanted, and you'll be in the same spirit as our people were. Satan can get in your mind so bad that you get tempted to get the RFID chip. You and your whole household, and thereby you'll be destroyed. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle. That's right, because we are in a battle. It's a spiritual battle. And Esau, he tried to make it very physical. Man, Esau's coming. And Esau's trying to pretty much bring these people through the ringer to compel them to sell out, to get the RFID chip. And he really wants us to get that, because then that'll be an example. See, these are the people that are speaking against us. Now look at it. Oh my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth, right? So we have to be as pilgrims upon the earth, which when you go, the scriptures talk about, is a miserable life to go from house to house. Because really, you want to be in a stable home and have all of that, but guess what? We're not in that time. The scriptures tell us in the book of Haggai, the 1st chapter, it is not time for us to be in our sealed houses. So we have to be as pilgrims. And where you're at, there could be a firestorm. But you're going to be, oh, I just bought the house, man. I just closed on it, man. I'm going to stay here and try to put out the fire. And you tempted the Heavenly Father. Because he said to be as a pilgrim upon the earth. He already outlined these things. Or I'm going to stay in my ground. Hey, you got to be in the spirit of leaving. You got to be in the spirit of, okay, I may be in this city, I might go in this city. And throughout all of that, because you have the knowledge and wisdom, that's what's going to keep you stable. Because the men of the Heavenly Father, even though we may not be in stable environments, yet our mind will be stable. Why? Because we meditate continually on these words of righteousness. Isaiah 30:36, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. You see that? So that's going to be the stability of thy times, the wisdom and knowledge. Not necessarily your predicament, or not you having a nice home, or knowing where you're going to lay your head from night to night. No, the wisdom and knowledge, that's going to be the stability. And strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. That's right. So fearing the Heavenly Father, that's the treasure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end there through the Spirit.